Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Om, salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Let us meditate on an ancient verse before we can go into the subject, moral perfections of yoga philosophy. Yasmat sarvamidam prapancharachitam Maya jagajjayate yasmin tishtati yati janta samaye kalpana manukalpe punaha yam dhyatva munaya prapancharahitam vindanti moksham dhruvam tam vande purushottamakyam Amalam nityam vibhum nischalam. Adorations to the Supreme Being, pure, eternal, all-pervading, the changeless reality. The one being, meditating upon whom the sages attained liberation, which is eternal and undifferentiated. The one out of whom the visible world of diversity emerges into existence, in whom it rests, and to whom it returns at the end when the world cycles come to a close. Let us reflect on that Supreme Being dwelling in every heart. Om, peace, peace, peace. People have been arguing what's the basis of morality. And they hold books, ancient books. The more ancient it is, the better it is. The problem comes when there are multiple books and there are many people who like to follow different books. And then we know what moral people do when they encounter someone not of their kind. So, morality or the lack thereof is what is conduct empirically. In the old days, it was called a moral philosophy. Even before that, it's called ethics, which is a branch of philosophy. So whatever the reason we have, we try to impute what is the basis of morality. We say it's human nature. Why not? Instead of seeking an extraneous cause, some God has come and do this and don't do that, it's better to base your morality on your own nature. But we know human nature also is, we know what's human nature. There are good and the bad sides. It's like both these elements are within us. If you go down, like the scientists say, the gene is selfish. It's perfectly selfish, it's understandable, but it has to work with others. And that gives the rise to this idea of altruism. You cannot survive or succeed alone. You have to partner yourself with others. So we always, in the selfish unselfishness, we are being pulled in these two ebb and flow tides. It depends also on your worldview, how you view the world, how you view yourself. That is your morality. Like, take for instance, many people, they believe in reincarnation. Religions also preach that, mainly the Eastern religions. So your entire perception of morality will change. And then, why is it a kind of a cruel fiat from an almighty God who'll smash you if you don't toe the line? And it has been seen in history that, this is the curse of God, etc., etc., etc. But it's better if you bring in doctrine of karma. That is the policeman there. It keeps a watch. Not only policeman, it's everything. Keeps a track of everything that you do. So this doctrine is, as I say, the basis also of morality. But then Indian philosophy does not stop there. It's saying that is one, you can say, level of understanding morality. Why a person should be moral. Okay, you build up character, etc. But Indian philosophy and religions, they all say, the basis of morality is in your own soul. It's not in just your genes, in your behavior, in your culture, in your upbringing. It is there. And the more universal a thing is, the more powerful and appealing does it become. The more narrow it is, narrow explanation, the more it becomes kind of hideous in time. Last Sunday, we saw these 8 limbs of the yoga body. And in these, the first 2 were these moral perfections. Why should we be perfect in this morality? Well, they say that if you don't ascend these 2 stages, it's very difficult for one to get some of these, you can say, results of yoga. Before we can go into it, like they are called, the first 2 are called yama and niyama. Yama, as I've said, it is non-killing, truthfulness, non-stealing, chastity, and non-receiving of gifts. These, the yoga aphorisms, they say, states, they are to be practiced by every man, woman, child, by every soul, irrespective of nation, country, or position. They are called Sarvabhauma Mahavrata. So these are universal vows applicable to everybody, everywhere. My God. But we don't want to be yogis. Even if you don't want to be yogis, you better have this. Otherwise, because we have seen historically the empirical results of not following certain dictates of human nature. Those cultures and civilizations have become destroyed. And you see, even human life, why you can see human life also, how it becomes deformed, as it were. It does not grow its full potential. So these are called, as they say, yama and the niyamas. Niyamas, the observances. What are the observances? Internal and external purification, contentment, mortification, study, the worship of God. Study in the sense, japa, it's all. How do we practice them? They have to be practiced. Yes, we have an intuitive understanding of what is right and wrong. But sometimes there are waves and counter waves coming and trying to whip us away. So the aphorist, he says, Vitarka Badanena Pratipaksha Bhavanam. That is, to obstruct thoughts which are inimical to yoga, contrary thoughts should be brought. Yes, that is a practice that is done by everybody. And there are various stories. One wave rises in the mind, bring in the opposite wave to counter it. This is a continuous process. It's not the idea of punishment. Your parents or teachers or somebody is there, don't do this and I'll beat you. Now corporal punishment also is outlawed, so be careful. You can't do that also. The child is left to itself. And peer pressure and all these things will. But if the child is intelligent enough, you will see that there are certain emotions that kind of dissipate you. There are certain emotions that fortify you. So you use your discernment, and every time something comes up, pops up, which is natural, I'll do this, I'll tell a lie. And then suddenly, no, you shouldn't tell a lie. Is that the voice of conscience, that constant vigilance? And they say, constant vigilance is a price of you pay for freedom. So this pratipaksha bhavan, contrary thoughts. Somebody is angry with somebody, which is obvious. And then you bring in the idea of love for something else. Go and love the dog. You don't love the husband, you love the dog. And then that anger gets away, okay? So somehow don't let the mind be tossed about. So this is a practice that one has to do. Yeah, you're trained into doing it and you keep on doing it. This is one method Patanjali speaks, contrary thoughts. And then he says, understand, if you're intelligent enough, the consequences. What you're going to do. What you did or what you're going to do, just reflect on the consequences. And he says, this is a nice one. The obstructions to yoga are, as you say, killing, lies, falsehood, etc., etc., all these. Whether committed, caused, or approved, either through avarice, anger, or ignorance, whether slight, middling, or great, and they result in infinite ignorance and misery. This is the method of thinking the contrary. This is how. Understand the consequences. You must be able to gauge your own actions and how it's going to affect others and you. So this is, so whether committed, approved, or caused. This is like krita, karita, anumodita. I don't do it, but I instigate someone else to do it. You do it, you do it. That also, that results will come to you. Partly, of course. It's like, whether through like anger or hatred or jealousy, whatever. And then whether slight, middling, or great. This, imagine, I told a white lie. That's a lie. Don't whitewash it. But you say, you got to speak the truth, but it should be not hurtful. Better keep your mouth shut if you have to say something which is going to hurt. So just for the record, just quote this. Vitarka hingsadaya krita karita anumodita lobha krodha moha purvaka mridu madhyadi matata dukkha ajnana ananta phala iti pratipaksha bhavana. This is what it is. And this is one of the longest, you can say, aphorisms. Aphorisms are supposed to be short, small, sweet. But this, Patanjali went through the whole, you can say, exercise of explaining this. So we have the idea, okay, when you are practicing morality, what happens is you become perfect and God is pleased. No. We are not interested in that. Why is this emphasis given in yoga and other philosophies? It's not just for moral perfections. We are not interested in morality, etc. is a means. It will take us to higher perceptions in yoga. We will see how you can say, the practice of each one of, like non-killing, etc. will take. People, read about miraculous powers. Oh, there's a miracle. Oh, we don't even bother about it. Oh, miracles. As if religion is just based on miracles. And if you don't have miracles, oh, that's no religion. Swami Vivekananda was told by somebody, show us a miracle or shut up. It happened somewhere in Detroit. And religion has been preached on the basis of miracles, that so and so performed a miracle. And well, this is nothing. These moral perfections will give you miraculous powers. What do you want? You practice this. And is the idea of having miraculous powers is why you got to practice it? No. It will open yourself to higher areas of your own being. That is why. So it is not just moral guidance and do this and do that. No. These people have gone right down to the very core of why should one practice. So this is also an incentive for people to practice it. Oh my God, you'll get all these things. So the first one is ahimsa pratishtayam tatsannido vairatyaga. So when non-killing or non-injury is established, in one's presence, all enmities will cease. This is, you've seen old pictures of, saints with a lion and a lamb together. It's, somehow these guys got that right. In the presence of such a person, enmity of all kinds will cease. There will come in the minds of people around the sense of non-injury, non-killing. So this person becomes a saint. Yeah, saint in the ordinary sense of the term, but the idea is much, much deeper. You are going to not only transform yourself, but the world around. See this world today, God. Everywhere it's just killing and shooting and murdering. And if we had some people like this who would go around, the world would have been a better place. And they say we are praying for peace. I had gone for a conference, peace conference, and everybody's praying for peace, and everybody's so emotional. Peace. I said, see what's happening around you. Better keep quiet and start practicing something like this. So it's true. It completely transforms one. And your aura, your influence is so vast, in the proximity of that person, there will be no feeling of animosity or hatred or anger or anything in. So this is the opening salvo. The next one is, by the establishment in truth, the yogi gets the power of attaining for oneself and others the results of work without work. Isn't it good? People have been working for results and nothing's happening. Ugh. Without working, you can get results. Really? Yeah. You say, be blessed, the person is blessed. Be thou whole, that person is whole. May you succeed, that person succeeds. My God, why? The person is established in truth. Now, there are laws of karma, the laws of the universe. When you do something, it will take a long time for the results to come to you. The more intense an act is, the more quickly it comes to you. But of course, spiritual practices don't come quickly. If you intensify them, it will take some time for it to come. But ordinary actions, they take a long time to fructify. But if you are established in truth, you can get it now. And we have seen it in the life of Nag Mahashaya also. You know, he's effecting cures which other doctors and all had given up hope. And how does he do it? Oh, miraculous powers. No, it's not. It's just that person was established in truth. And what it says happens. That's why in the old days, Sri Ramakrishna says one of those things, don't mix around too much with the big sadhus, great sadhus, okay? With the yogis. If they say something, it's going to happen. So you better don't rub them on the wrong side. They're humorously putting it in the sense of. So here we have, why should we be truthful? Every religion says, speak the truth, speak the truth, speak the truth. And we also feel, truth is good, truth is elevating. But the results of speaking the truth, of being established in truth, is this. Sri Ramakrishna says that in this Kali age, the best spiritual practice is speaking the truth. And what is speaking the truth? Make your mind and your speech one. Or make your heart, your intelligence, your emotions, your speech and everything one. Align yourself. You're perfectly aligned. So the world also responds to you, saying, make this person whole, and that person becomes whole. You can do anything with this power. It's generally used for the good of humanity. So when you see these miracles happening around and this and that, and it shows divinity, that person is divine. No, it's that person is just established in truth. Nothing else. Okay. Of course, there are commentators, long commentaries and all, but we don't need to go into that because we're just on the second. By being established in non-stealing, all wealth comes to the yogi. There. Here it is. People want to become rich. Everybody wants to become rich. Yeah. Become established in this. Non-stealing. Don't even think about it in your mind. Oh, that idea, oh my God, that's a nice car. There, it's gone. Asteya pratishtayam sarvaratna upasthanam. So this is what is. And Patanjali, is this possible? Yes, it is possible, and it has been experimented on for thousands of years. And they have seen it. This is what. All wealth comes to a yogi. The people who want to be wealthy become established in by non-stealing in thought, word, and deed. Deed we can understand. Everybody is going around stealing. Then, so it's not only physical objects. Don't steal anybody, even like steal something, even emotionally. We have some these kind of we hijack people emotionally. We exploit people in other ways, intellectually also. Even all that thing also, when it goes away, when you're established in this non-stealing, asteya, everything. By the establishment of continence, energy is gained. Brahmacharya pratishtayam viryalabh. Now, you see, in the old days, Brahmacharya means, Brahma means the Vedas. And Chari is one who walks or studies or lives the Vedas. So, the old word was Brahmacharins, one who lived or studied or walked the Vedas. Why? You know what? There is a development of a subtle nerve called a Medha Nadi. It's a nerve of a spiritual intelligence that is awakened. If you practice this for 12 years, Sri Ramakrishna himself says, through this, you can understand everything. Everything? Yes, everything. The scriptures, people, the world, everything. Really saying, oh yes, you get a tremendous insight into everything. So this is what energy? It is a subtle spiritual energy that is gained. It starts with that energy. It's termed ojas. So this is, your subtle body is full of that energy. And this is the result. Okay, we'll go to the next one. When one is fixed in non-receiving of gifts or whatever, one gets the memory of past lives. Here, people say, do you remember your past lives? This is how you're going to get remembrance of a past life. Yeah. Is it so easy? Yeah, it is so easy. Practice this. So, not taking anything from anybody which does not belong to you. Become established in that. But where are the memories? The memories are all there lying down in the subconscious mind. We don't have the capacity to go in and find out what's there inside. Of course, they do come out as you keep on practicing the other yoga disciplines. But even before going into the you can understand this. Why? Why is that? That person becomes independent, becomes free. His or her mind is not beholden to anyone or anything. The non-receiving of any gifts. And what about these other yogis who take gifts? So the only concession that's made is that which can help you protect your own pranas, the vital forces in your system. You take something. But there are the extreme who will not take even that. As we have seen again in the life of Nagmasha and all the other householder disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, which we study every Friday. He never took anything from anybody. In fact, he kept on giving whatever he had. So this is, and how can these things be read? Yeah, they are being read. People think what we are today, so what we all are today, is a result of what you did in your younger days, your childhood. I forgot everything. No, it's all there. The resultant is you today, and what you're going to be in the future, then you can take care of it today, so you can have a better future. So is this only for one lifetime? People like to have it for one lifetime. You can have it for one lifetime. But in this, everything in this universe has evolved. Everything. Every object in the world has behind it a long history of evolution. Everything. You, me, sun, stars, moons, everything in this world. The water that you drink, the fire that you see, everything in this universe is the result of a long process of evolution. But we have forgotten all these things. Whether you have forgotten all the things, it's there, written there. This will give you the insight into seeing all the whole thing. Saying, Swami Vivekananda was asked, do you remember your past lives? You know why? That is a kind of easy thing to say, yeah. But then Sri Ramakrishna said, if when he remembers who he is, he will not stay out here, even for a moment. And then they knew that he's not going to live anymore. So it's there, the whole process is. So this is it. When one is fixed in non-receiving, one gets the memory of past lives. Okay, those are all sleeping memories there. Okay, the next one. Internal and external cleanliness being established, there arises disgust for one's own body and the non-interaction with others. Oh my God, yeah. What is that? The internal and external purification. The internal, once you start becoming pure inside, you will understand that it is the body that is kind of like a counterweight pulling. So the best way to avoid that weight of the body is to be established in this purity. And when you can do that, the idea of body consciousness vanishes. Again, we have seen it in the life of Nag Mahasaya, that he had no body consciousness. How can a person have a body yet have no consciousness? Yes, this is because of that person is established in external and internal purity. And then what happens? You don't even think you're a body. So this is that person. They say, oh, that's a very beautiful person there. That person will not see that thing as beauty. That person will see that person as kind of a, kind of a horrible looking, ugly looking face. Once Swami Vivekananda was in Paris and he was walking down the streets and he sees a face of a very beautiful woman. And then immediately that beautiful face turned into a hideous kind of looking face. It happens. For this person, the only thing that matters is that divinity shining behind that face or no? This is what is it. So even the most ugly thing will reveal an extraordinary heavenly beauty in this world. It's not only amongst humans. The whole world becomes beautiful in the sense of that person sees that spiritual, you can say, reality behind these masks, various masks that we put. So in bugs, in insects, in spiders, everywhere he'll see that beauty, that shining divinity coming out. When you have given up this body consciousness due to purity. So this is a tremendous achievement. Who doesn't want to practice this? Hey, I want. Line up. So as this purity, you have become established in this external and internal purity, then what makes us impure? It's the thoughts. If you have pure thoughts, you become pure. Then Patanjali says, there also arises purification of the sattva element. The mind has three elements, sattva and rajas and tamas. So the sattva becomes more and more pure, luminous. And then he's saying, cheerfulness of mind, conquest of the organs, sense organs, and the fitness for the realization of the Atman. Here now you are fit to practice yoga. After all this, no, you got to practice all this together. You know, you turn on all the, you can say, engines and start. So this is what he's saying. So cheerfulness, that person will never be morose. That person will always be cheerful. And that's a sign of, he's saying, everything is pleasurable. Swami Vivekananda says, for this person, everything is pleasurable. Saying, and then he says, to the yogi, everything is bliss. Every human face that he sees brings cheerfulness to him. That is a sign of virtue. Misery is caused by sin and by no other cause. So when you see all this kind of, that person sees bliss. That person is cheerful. So yeah, we've seen people take up this task of practicing yoga. How can the person practice all this? That person is cheerful. His mind has become energetic, and that person can practice. Then he says, from contentment comes superlative happiness. So you see, you get more and more happiness. If you are content, superlative happiness. Santoshad anuttama sukha labha. Labha. So that person becomes, if the person is content, he's established contentment, he reaches the very crest of that contentment, the perfection, happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. Come over here, line up. This is the way. And then says, mortification, that is practicing austerities, is bringing powers to the organs and the body by destroying impurities. Now, what happens is, what is this? Yes, you don't have any body consciousness. Yeah, but the body has become pure and subtle. And when you practice these austerities, this, you can say, mortifications, the various mortifications, hundreds, depending on what you are and what you like, you will start seeing vision. People want to see visions. Religion, that is not religion at all. Visions, this. So Swamiji says, sometimes by heightened powers of vision, hearing things at a distance and so on, these things becomes natural. Hearing, taste, smell, sight, these, even there, like people say, telepathy and all these things, like, psychokinesis, and so many things are there. These things, that person, let that person practice mortifications. You will get all clairvoyance and clairaudience, everything that you want. telepathy, you can see things everywhere. Everywhere, yeah, everywhere and anywhere. So this is what, it brings the powers of super conscious perception in these very things. So this is just moral perfections, yeah. By the repetition of the mantra comes the realization of the intended deity or the chosen deity. But this is moral perfections. That is Swadhyaya Ishtadi Devata Samprayoga. By getting perfected in japa, you will see your chosen deity. Suppose you are meditating on Vishnu. As you keep on meditating, you're doing japa and all, you will see Vishnu. Then you know your mantra has become perfect. When you see that. It's not only in japa, anything, any deep study of anything, you will see the results. And then the last one, moral perfection. By sacrificing everything to Ishvara, that is God, the personal God. God has manifested in this. Comes Samadhi. Hey, there it is. Do we need to practice Samadhi? If you can practice this, self-sacrifice, you can get Samadhi. You don't need to go into that huge practices of, oh my God, so many levels and so many levels. Here it is. Is that all? Yes, is that all? What more do you want? So these things, as I said, non-killing, truthfulness, non-stealing, chastity, non-receiving of the gifts are to be practiced universally by all people. This is internal and external purification, contentment, mortification, study or japa, and worship of God. These are the very, you can say, the fairest flowers of humanity. So you have attained to everything. You don't even have to go and practice yoga, all the various disciplines. You don't need to. You've already attained this perfection. Samadhi, yes. So this is why yoga will insist, hey, you better do this first and get. And if you're half-baked with this, doesn't matter, you practice the other. You keep on practicing that. And if you've attained the perfection, what happens? The entire powers of the universe are in your hands. If you can get this, not only the external powers of the world, the subtle powers, even the internal powers, everything becomes so clear. You become, as it were, a god. This is what happens. So the study of ethics and morality and the confusion and this religion and that religion, my culture says this, my religion says this, my civilization says, forget the whole thing. These are the results of morality. Not because somebody has said, do not kill. You know it yourself. If you do that, you are going to have endless trouble. Either in this life, if you somehow escape, there are chances. Today's society is, you will get it in the next life. Nothing goes waste, don't worry. So Swami Vivekananda says, even if you are in the cave and you think a vicious thought, that is going to rebound. Today, tomorrow, day after, it's going to come to you. So once this person becomes morally perfect, that person becomes perfect. He is the perfect being in this universe. That person becomes God. And the entire powers of the universe they belong to this person. He can twist and turn and do whatever that person wants. Yeah. So, when we were young, we used to read these stories or listen to these stories, or they are forced down our ears. So this sage is saying, come here. He's telling the gods, and the gods come frightened and say, what can I do? Why is this thing happening? I don't know. We don't know. He's scolding the gods. And we used to say, why, he's a sage and he's scolding the gods? How is that possible? Yeah, this person had that level of... And so I stopped making fun of those stories, There was one sage who was punished for no reason. And he was a great sage. He was saying, why is this punishment come to me? I have never done anything wrong in my life. And that person knows. So he calls the god of death. The god of death is also the god of justice. Yes. What's this? Why is this happening to me? So, when you were very little, you should take a long straw of that grass called the munja grass and in fun poke those birds. And because of that you got, oh. Oh. Then he made it a rule. And these guys can make the rules. From now on, till the child becomes self-conscious of the consequence of the actions, everything that the child does is cancelled. So, the cancel culture is everywhere. It was, even in ancient India we had, it's cancelled, he's saying. So, he said it like, when the sense of I develops, then you understand, oh, this if I do this, I'll get this. So, before that, everything is. So, when you were very little, what you did does not count anymore, thanks to that sage. So, we have hundreds of stories. The one king wanted to go to heaven, and he was a tomfool, useless guy. So he goes to a sage and says, okay. He goes to one sage and saying, get out. He's saying, you cannot go with this body to earth, go to heaven. So he goes to another sage. Okay, I'll send you. He made this whole, you can say, fire sacrifice, and he sends him to heaven. As he's ascending, nowadays we have these rocket boosters and this and the rockets and spaceships and all the way. So he was shooting up towards the heavens, and Indra comes. He's the king of heaven. Hey, what is the mortal coming up? He kicks him out. As he was coming, he kicks him out, and the guy is tumbling down. And this sage says, hey, listen, that's not fair. So he performs another fire sacrifice and holds him there up in space. Then he says, why did you kick him down? He's a mortal. We are the immortals. So he's saying, no, I'm going to keep him there until you open those gates of heaven. He's saying, just not possible. And then all the gods and all, they made a big delegation. Okay, please, just bring him down. Don't let him hang midway between heaven and earth. Say, no, you cannot convince me. So this sage is just dismissive of all the gods' requests. No. So we used to say, what powers these people had? These are the powers that they had. So now also they say, legend that Trishanku, the name of the god Trishanku. It's like Trishanku was. You are like Trishanku. What? Neither in heaven nor in hell. Neither good nor bad nor this. You're somewhere hanging in the middle. So these are the powers. They become powerful. They become gods. They can prevail over the gods also. This is what. So these are the moral perfections. They take you to, and once you perfect them, you become perfect. So before we sign off, next Sunday, we won't have a talk here. That's because we are having a memorial at the Tapovan retreat for Swami Manishananda, who had passed away. So we all welcome there. There will also be no mother's children next Sunday. Wednesday we have a gospel study class. Thursday we have Towards the Goal Supreme from the retreat. That is Swami Brahmatmananda will give an online talk. And you can go to the retreat also. Friday we have Swami Ishtananda coming. He is a Swami from Florida. He will be taking the first section of Pratap Chandra Hazra, the householder disciple of Shri Ramakrishna. Okay. Okay, we have questions here. I'll take these questions now. Okay. Yaman, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for your talk. I have one question on morality and karma. If morality is innate, is a person's moral level determined by their karma action in the past life? Yeah. Yeah, it's determined. As I said, no karma goes without its consequence, and you get what you have, what you have done. But at the same time, like Holy Mother says, suppose you are destined to get a wound as wide as a plowshare, you can escape it with just a scratch. How is that? By japa. So if you do japa and meditation or pray to God, it counteracts the old karma. So the morality is innate. Yeah, morality is innate. Like I said, morality has to be innate. Why? Because it is based on the soul. It is not based on the body, etc., etc. So it is, why should I be moral? Because that same soul is everywhere. So if I hurt others, I hurt myself. If I lie against others, I'm lying against myself. So I see myself everywhere. So this and Swamiji has been very clear. The basis of morality has to be the Atman only. When you see this oneness, there will be, you will be moral. Till that time, you cannot see it. You have to take care of your karma. So morality is innate. Is a person's moral level determined by their karma? Yes. There are some people, kind of kleptomaniacs. They are nice people, but suddenly, their hands simply go. Why is that? I don't know. When they have the camera, they got a respectable person. So what made that? It's that old karma coming out. The reason is because, does this mean a person is born more likely to do good and another more likely to cause suffering? Yeah, there are people born only who make others suffer. There are some people who are born as blessings to the whole world. Oh yeah. Don't ever think that everybody is kind of nice and equal and everybody is good. And there are some people born for pain. There are some people born for pleasure. There are some people born to give others happiness and misery. So, yes, the whole thing is, as long as you have a body and mind, you are under the power of karma. You cannot get away from it. When you come away from your body and mind, then you're free from karma. Okay, just and as I said, don't take it as the laws kind of they come to you, but you can shield yourself from this by performing some karma now, today, that will counter the old ones. So the laws of karma are the laws of freedom, not of bondage. If you are miserable, don't blame the world. You see what you have done. Somewhere you've forgotten the whole thing. Like what you had yesterday, what you ate yesterday, you've already forgotten. You are thinking of tomorrow. What am I going to do tomorrow? So it's like that. You've forgotten things. It has come. You are the architect of your own life and destiny. Nothing else. Nobody else. Even the gods, they stand back away from this. Let this law operate. And that's how it happens. Okay. Okay. Vikram.
So I guess two-part question. Having memory of past lives, in order to get there, is it a progression where you'd have a heightened memory of this life and then keep working backwards until you get to next one, previous? And is the purpose of such memories to actually, is there something unresolved? So is it actually to resolve sort of a habitual pattern from one life to the next?
Yeah, you can get either snapshots of it, or you can go as a kind of sequentially. Suppose there are some things that you unresolved things. You just look at them and they will get resolved. You did something out of ignorance, and most of us do things out of ignorance only. So you just, the moment you get a knowledge of it, the whole thing has already been kind of in a way resolved for you. So whatever has gone there, whatever happened there, as you look at that thing, you have a different perspective of that particular deed, whatever, and you can neutralize it. So the idea is not to kind of go and say, hey, hello to your old self. It's not like that. You see it as all these waves that have come, that you have lived all these lives in, over and over again.
But in a certain sense, so like, yeah, so if you have a snapshot, you could argue.
You're going to argue with yourself.
You don't have the full context, right? But if you actually have it as a sequence, you can see like
you can.
Oh, this is a pattern.
Yeah, you can. The question was whether you can see it. I said snapshot. You can see it as a from the present life. You can go back and right down to where you started. Yes, you heard of this Jataka tales in Buddhism? Yeah, it's very popular. Very lot of tales. So Buddha remembered 500 past births, and he kept on telling stories, and they were his old stories, his old lives. So so it's also called Jati Smarana. In Hinduism, it's called a Jati. That is, you have memory of your previous births. So all your previous births, they are there. They are not gone anywhere. It's just like you have been changing your clothes okay, this is getting old. Put on new clothes, like new bodies, and so you go and you don't try to kill yourself there. Hey, what did you do? You don't. In fact, all those things that you did has helped you to come here. So you'll feel blessed. Thank God I made all these mistakes. Thank God I did all these things. I learned. There's no all that trauma and all these things. It has become a big kind of issue nowadays. This trauma. So It's just that at this stage, your mind has become so strong, you can see everything and neutralize it. Your karmas now cannot affect you in the way it used to affect. It's
One of the things you said that don't give or take anything. One of those stages, no giving and taking, and you said only take what belongs to you. But how do I know what belongs to me?
You don't know what belongs to you? You keep on giving it. Don't take anybody, don't exploit anybody, don't kind of even think, don't have any kind of jealousy or kind of, all these kind of other emotions. And, oh, this person has that and wish I had. That also goes against you. So what you have, you can keep on giving. Like in Friday, we saw Nag Mahashai's life, that he had about $8, 8 rupees. And a poor woman comes with a few kids hanging on her, clinging to her sari and all. Then she tells her sad story. And this Nag Mahashai, he takes all that money and even without thinking what's going to happen. And she was so happy. She blessed Nag Mahashai and she leaves with the children. And Nag Mahashai had to return. That was his return fare. He spent 29 days walking back to his destination.
In this case, did it belong to that lady who took it from him?
You keep on giving.
From her perspective?
No, you keep on giving. Don't take. The best way to avoid taking is to give. You don't know. That has always been like when we were young, these neighbors and all, they send you Diwali sweets. And you don't send back an empty plate. Never. So you fill the plate with sweets and you send it back.
But I think she's asking an interesting question about receiving. Like, is there a way in which receiving is taking? Or is it, if something's offered to you, is it automatically okay to receive it and then you just pass it on?
No, you don't receive at all. If you have to receive it, you have to receive it in the name of God.
If I get this cookie as a prasad, is it taking or is it like...
Yeah. This prasad is kind of going to purify you, don't worry. It has been offered to God. And even if I don't give it to you, you can take it. It's meant for the taking. So, at that extreme level, you will not take without asking. That's it. So, I remember there was one old Swami who used to, smoke these Indian cigarettes, bidis. And his neighboring, the Swami, he used to, this guy was poor, he had no money. So they both used to smoke together, kind of. Then sometimes that Swami who had those Indian cigarettes wasn't present. So this guy wanted to have a smoke. He used to go to that room, take those Indian, and then he's saying, oh, that is stealing. No. Then he used to take it to Sri Ramakrishna. Like, take it to Holy Mother Swamiji. I'm taking this. So, the idea is to fix in non-receiving, God alone is the giver. If you have that, then it becomes clear. So, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like with the truthfulness, I feel like sometimes it can be culturally unacceptable, which makes it practically difficult. Like if my boss asks me, "Do you like your job?" Like, I can't say no.
Well, if you say yes, you are stuck with more misery. If you say no, you are escaping. So just shrug your shoulders for now. Okay. This we can kind of discuss it later on now with a specific. But then there is no, you cannot compromise. You cannot say truth has to adapt itself to you. Swamiji was always clear. The ideal should not be brought down, should not be degraded. But you should lift yourself up to the ideal. It's always like that. So, yeah, right now I may not be able to speak the truth. Just keep quiet. And then slowly, one day you will be in a position. Do you like this job? No way. Oh, working under you? Huh. What makes you think you're the ideal boss? So you'll be. So it's always one thing you must understand. Ultimately, it is truth that protects you. That's why in the great Mahabharata and all these, Dharma Rakshati Rakshata. One who speaks the truth, the God of truth itself will come and protect you. And you see in the n number of stories in the mythology where God himself comes in and to protect the devotee. Oh yeah. So that is it. So truth protects you. What is the protection? Truth. Okay. Okay, we can stop here for today. If you have any more questions, we can sit down here. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.